Fumbling the Bag podcast, Final Four show.
Yes.
I came plenty unprepared today. My host, Andre Miller, here.
What's
is
up,
a little
y'all?
more prepared.
Yeah, tad bit.
I mean, let's recap. We got all 4 1 seeds in the Final Four. First time since, I believe, 2007.
Yes.
So, been a while. Shock tournament like we talked about 2 episodes ago. Please go and watch that.
Yes.
Like, subscribe right now if you haven't to the channel. Thank you again.
Please do. As far as, in one of my brackets, I picked 3 of the 4 teams. Had Michigan State going to the Final Four.
Yeah, that
Auburn
hurt me
got
on
in that
Sunday.
ass. Yeah. I mean, they were missing shots. But I still have my top 2. Well, my top 3, but my 2 is Houston and Florida. So I need Florida to win this whole thing, and I can win some money.
There you go. I like that. Me, brackets, screwed. MSU didn't do it. Texas Tech didn't do it. Blew that huge lead at the end. Oh, I even texted this guy like, oh, they're about to do it. And egg on my face. So
I do remember that.
I'm rooting for Duke, I guess. Actually, I like Houston. I like every team in it, really. I don't mind who wins.
Yeah, it's going to be a very competitive Final Four. I think the matchups are really good. I'm going to enjoy watching these games. We haven't had 4 number 1 seeded teams in years, like you said. So this is going to be interesting.
The death of the mid-major, we didn't have any real, sleeper teams make it, even to the Sweet 16. Like, Drake bounced round of 32.
Yeah.
Arkansas got bounced Sweet 16.
Right.
Just not what we, in my opinion, I think we are closer than ever than someone getting a bracket totally right.
Yeah. I like to know how that's going right now. You think it's a perfect bracket out there right now?
No, it did end on I want to say the Sweet 16 or
okay.
Yeah,
right.
It's
getting closer though.
But yeah, people have 1 or 2 wrong, which is still insane.
Now we talked about this a little bit, but do you think because there are all number 1 seeded teams in the Final Four, you think this is because of the NIL situation?
I totally believe that, and they just seeded the teams good this year.
They did a good job.
These teams beat their competition.
Yeah.
MSU had chances to win that game. Tennessee, no fucking chance.
Right.
Duke, who'd they play? I'm trying to think. One Purdue.
In the to get to the
Alabama.
Final Four, Alabama,
not a fucking chance.
I knew they were going to blow Alabama out too.
Yeah.
I just knew it.
And then Florida, Texas Tech, that was a great game. So we can't even hold our head. And like I told you, in that game, the missed 1-and-1, the misses in the 1-and-1 really sunk.
Free throws will kill
Sunk
you,
them,
man.
and then Florida made every shot. So
they did, and they made their free throws. They did make most of their free throws.
Went to the line 25 times. Where Tech I think went 10 the whole game. So just wasn't their day. But alas, where are they this year? San Antonio, correct?
The Final Four is. Oh boy.
Now we got to do a good Google search 3 minutes in.
We don't want to give the wrong information, right? I feel like, is it? Let's see. Where's the Jeopardy music, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I should know this,
I feel like it's
Final Four.
San Antonio, yep. That was right.
San Antonio, okay.
Yeah, what can I say? Sometimes I remember the little things.
Yeah.
Details matter here. Even though,
got it.
I guess we can finally talk about the fucking games. There's 2 games.
All right.
And then we'll talk about who we think will be champion. So let's start it off. Florida,
Auburn.
Yeah. Go for
Florida's a -2.5 favorite. And Auburn is like the number 1 team that's supposed to take it all, and they're down +2.5. I think one of the reasons is because maybe their star is kind of hurt. Broom, yeah. He had a great
hell of a
game against Michigan State, man.
Was in there. Yes.
He really was, man. He did everything he needed to do. He was boarding out. He scored. He played defense.
Yeah.
That guy, he's pretty good.
Missoula played fine too.
Yes,
they got guys that just score all on the floor.
They got guys. What I'm thinking though is that Auburn is tougher. Their bigs are tougher than Florida's.
Mm-hmm.
They're stronger. You know what I mean? They're just tougher bigs. But I think it's going to come down to, and this is why I'm choosing Florida. I think it's going to come down to the guard play. And I like the Florida guards better than I do Auburn. Plus the free throw shooting.
Yeah, the shooting is what I think sets them apart.
Yeah.
But to me, me and you have talked about Florida in that way. They are weak down low, and I think Auburn can just use that to their strength. As long as they don't get the lights shot out on them, I think Auburn's live. I would take the 2.5. I'm not betting this.
I'm not touching it, but I'm gonna go with Florida. Now let me ask you too. Since we're on the free throw shooting, how do you think the refereeing has been, the officiating? You think they calling too many fouls? Or?
I feel like they didn't call enough.
Really? Okay.
But then again, I was watching MSU in the scope of an MSU fan, so then I'm sitting there like, the everything is a call kind of thing, where I'm like, no, that's a call. That should have been a call. That should have been a call. I don't know. Basketball's very volatile in that way. They can call things when they want.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the opinion of the officials and how they want to call the games, and if they think certain things are fouls, that's all up to them.
Yep.
So my foul might not be their foul.
Exactly.
But and Michigan State plays a very physical game. So does Auburn. So maybe they just allowed them to both be physical.
I felt like that was the case. I didn't feel like there was games that were won and lost by officiating in this tournament. It's been pretty fair across the board. Yeah, that's, because we always complain about the fucking refs. When are we not?
We do. Yeah, every sport.
Every sport. Except baseball.
Yes.
They got it down.
Baseball and golf, there is no officiating in golf, but you know.
Well,
what I mean.
you can ask certain people.
Okay.
I was watching a video the other day. Some guy he got disqualified after coming in second in a tournament because some guy, this is back in the 80s, went back, watched the tape, and found out he had a 2-stroke penalty that never got assessed to his scorecard. Since he didn't sign that on his scorecard, it was an automatic disqualification. Came in second.
Oh my goodness.
So whatever nerd on that couch, shame on you.
Oh,
Analytics ruining sports. I kind of agree.
Totally, man. Totally. Get that man. I'm sure it was money involved.
Yeah, it was a PGA event.
Okay,
PGA event. So
come on, man.
he
lost
like
money out of my pocket.
$37,000 or something. Yeah, I think that's what they said.
Goodness.
Yeah, obviously it's 1987, but shit.
Hey, inflation was a lot lower than it is.
That's right. It's like $80,000,
Right.
So money's money.
Let's
go to Houston.
So you got Auburn for this. You're not betting it, but you
I got Auburn. Yeah, I got Auburn advancing to the finals. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'll take them.
Houston versus Duke.
Whew.
Guess who's favored in this one?
The team that's been favored every game that has Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
-4.5 is what I see it at.
Me and you weren't sure on the line earlier. I was like, somewhere between 5.5 and 7.5.
You nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. Yeah, you did say 5.5, didn't you, for this?
Yeah, I said 5.5. Yeah.
Very, very close.
I think that's a low number still, but I guess Houston gets the home court advantage. Think about it. They're
Texas.
in San Antonio. That's a 3-hour drive away. Duke though is the better team on paper. Best team on paper. Haven't seen them not win by more than 7. Sorry, Arizona, and that 9.5 cover we gave you last week. Sorry, fans. I lost money on that too. So.
I like Duke in this matchup, man. I'm not gonna lie, because I think the reason that it is -4.5, kind of close, is because of Houston's defense. I think they're getting the benefit of the doubt, and the fact that they're in Texas. But to me, I just think Houston doesn't have enough defensively or offensively to beat a Duke.
And it's crazy because I think they're a top 4 team. I think
no
they
doubt.
remind me of Duke reminds me of Kentucky when they didn't win it all and lost to John Kaminsky. And I forgot the other white boy on that team.
They had a squad too.
They were 32-0 up until that point. They didn't lose the game. They had Devin Booker. Oh shit.
Oh man, they were loaded.
Yeah, they had guys.
Loaded, man.
Willie Cauley-Stein was on that team.
He was on that team.
There was 5 pros on that team.
Well, you know how deep Kentucky is with it too, man, and how talented they are.
Yeah.
That's a good example though.
So
But I just think Duke wins by more than 4.5 to me. This is one that I may take the bet.
Lock, alt line, minus 10.5. Let's go. I think Duke gets
it done.
Gets it done easy.
Is okay. So there's no way Houston can maybe keep it closer based off of their defense. Maybe
if they play like a game like they played when Clemson upset Duke.
Yeah.
That's about it. But they just don't have the size like a team like Wake or Clemson. Like
the size is going to hurt them, I believe.
But they're physical. That's the only thing I could say about Houston. Very physical team. They won't foul a bunch. They're going to play clean ball. But I think Duke's just going to outclass them.
Well, we all know Cooper Flagg is the player of the year. That guy is good, man.
Yeah, he's going to be a top 3 pick.
Definitely.
Gotta be.
Who's going to guard him? What type of style of play? I mean, they're going to get physical with him, of course, but I just don't see them stop because he does more than just score. This guy can pass the ball. This guy can board out. He plays a little bit of defense too.
Yeah, play a little.
Not a lot, but just a tad bit. He motivates. He's a great leader to me too. He motivates his teammates.
I like the bingo commercial he's into.
Oh yeah,
he's high five with everyone. I'm like, all right, he's got the star power. All right.
Yeah, he's with Granny, killing people at bingo, talking stuff about it too.
Hell yeah. So
I love watching him play though, man. I mean, because we were watching. I was watching Duke this year, so I was kind of taking a glimpse. And everybody, because I didn't know.
Yeah, people have been talking about for 3 years now. When he was in high school, they were like, "Yeah, this guy's gonna be legit." Like I remember my cousin telling me that. He's, no offense to my cousin, kind of a dumbass. So shout out to him. I'll give him that one.
Hey, he's fun to watch though. But it's Duke all the way for me. Yeah. I'm probably gonna put some money on this one.
Yeah, that's where my dollar's going this weekend. And obviously, I keep forgetting that Golf Masters not till next week. I will be doing the video. Probably Monday. Mark my words. Maybe. God knows.
So you have Duke Auburn.
And you know what? Duke's winning it.
Got okay. I'm Duke, Florida. I'm going Duke though, even though I need Florida to win. I'm a realist.
Yeah.
I see what I see, and I just think Duke is the best team.
Maybe hedge against yourself and bet Duke, just in case Florida does do it. That would be a bad idea. Depends on how much money's on the line for you.
Listen, and if they end up being in the finals, I think the spread is going to be Duke -3.5.
Yeah, I don't have any sort of. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Hey, so. It's going to be a good match.
College basketball season over. March Madness wasn't not as much madness as we wanted. Still fun, good opportunity to make money. I believe my picks were 3-3, and I did hit one parlay, so I'm up a little bit of money from it. So shout out to it.
I can't tell you what I did. I may have been even, or I may have been 3 and 4. I struggled a little bit, but I didn't do bad. I didn't do bad in my brackets. That's what I'm proud of.
My brackets were garbage. They ain't making me no money, so I don't care. It's either first or last in these pools. I'm not first. I'm last. Cool. And I'm actually last.
I haven't done well in the brackets probably since 1994. So
I gotta
get bragging rights for this one.
I'd never do well in them. It's just a money fucking pit for my friends to get me. It's fine.
Yeah, I always donate money, to the bracket fund.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah. So, want to turn the page and maybe talk about just random topics?
Yeah. What about a little NFL? We haven't really talked about it. There's been major signings.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in a second here. Yeah, sounds great.
Oh yes.
Okay, little bit of NFL free agency talk, a little bit draft talk. We're gonna hype around it. We ain't got much time here today. We will be back.
Oh yes.
Some other time in the next few weeks. We're gonna be busy men. Probably not having any sort of life, but here we are. Welcome to life. Life is hard. Be harder.
It really is.
So yeah, NFL free agency. I'd say what do you think the biggest splashes were besides quarterback movement? It can't be Darnold to the Raiders. Or not Raiders, Seahawks. Geno went to the Raiders, which I kept watching videos, and what the fuck have the Raiders done the last 20 years? They just pick whoever.
I don't know what they're doing, man. They don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a cluster. You know what?
Yeah, Russell Wilson bridges the gap in New York. Like, what are we doing here? Rodgers still not signed. Probably Pittsburgh.
Well, that probably will be the biggest, quarterback signing.
Yeah, a guy who's washed. Awesome.
Yeah, because the Russell Wilson thing doesn't
move the needle
for anybody.
Yeah, Seahawks doesn't move the needle. Should be Sam Howell.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Justin Fields one is interesting, but I don't think it moves the needle though.
No, they're going to be
Jets.
7-9 or 7-10.
Well, if he could just get with somebody that can work with his talent, because I still think he can be a good quarterback.
He can't throw up the middle of the field. That's the problem with him. That's what he needs to learn.
He has to learn how to do that.
If he does that, he'd be dangerous. But there's a reason he was behind fucking Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited.
Mr. Unlimited.
So
my Colts grabbed Daniel Jones though. That's nothing.
Cool. And mid versus mid for a QB competition. I think, but it's like fair competition for Richardson to be like, okay, this is now or never.
Let me get my shit in gear.
Yeah, that is the test. Hey, can you beat a proven vet? Because I think Daniel Jones. I think Daniel Jones is better than Justin Fields. If we're being honest here, if I was the Jets, I'd rather would have fucking Daniel Jones.
The only problem with that is that Daniel Jones hasn't shown that he can win.
Yeah.
He just hasn't. And Justin Fields hasn't either, but Justin Fields is a little bit younger.
Yep.
He does have something there. We just don't know what it is.
Yeah. But just, I don't know. Because, not everyone's Sam Darnold 8 years into the career. It's like, oh, I just had a magical season. But I just think that's a part of the Vikings voodoo magic. I think the Vikings are going to be dangerous with McCarthy next year. I don't think it really matters who's starting at quarterback. They had fucking Dobbs starting games for them the other year. They were winning.
Yeah, and they were winning, man. I mean, I think it's maybe the system that Minnesota has. They have some talent there.
Great talents.
Yeah.
Whole field. Watch the... I forgot who it is. It's that's not Deadspin, but there's a great Minnesota Viking documentary, YouTube series I've been watching.
Okay.
Bro, what a tortured franchise. Holy shit. It's like the Bills.
They have a tortured history, man.
Fucking crazy. Herschel Walker. That's the craziest trade of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know I forgot his name, but he was a player in the 70s. He was the only other defensive player of the year or MVP ever that was a defensive player besides Lawrence Taylor.
Dang, I know who you're talking about, man.
And that guy's story's fucking crazy.
It is, yeah.
That guy.
Well,
a Hulk.
I've always been also a Fran Tarkenton fan because of the way he played. I mean, they play like that now, as far as quarterback. But he was a great quarterback and he never won.
Yeah. Wasn't Randall Cunningham on that team?
Randall Cunningham, great quarterback.
That bridge, Dante Culpepper.
Randy Moss. Yeah. I mean, Chris Carter. What was that? What was one of the...
Nate Burleson was on that team. He was on the Love Boat with all them boys, Great history. Anyways, free agency. Let's see. What teams have made big splashes? The Cincinnati Bengals have determined they don't want to have a defense ever. Yeah. Paid Higgins, paid Chase, and got Hendrickson mad. Great.
Got Hendrickson pissed off. Hey, that might be good for, the Lions, maybe.
Maybe. Bills, too. I mean,
Bills
signed 2 guys, immediately suspended 6 games for steroids.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
They're backup guys, but still, come on.
Well, I mean, they're being active, though, and that's good. They're still being active. They're one play away from,
Super Bowl.
going to the Super Bowl, so... I don't think they need much. Well,
they need some defensive help.
They lost some stuff too.
Rasul Douglas still on the market too. I don't know who he's going to sign with, but I mean, Bills re-signed Christian Benford, gave him a huge deal, which deserved. Deserved. He's going to be a number 1 corner.
Yeah.
And then DeMar Hamlin gets a prove-it contract. They want to keep him there, but he's a good run stopper, but again, in pass pro, not great.
Yeah, he needs to work on that. But he had a pretty good season last.
Yeah, he was for
He had a
being.
pretty decent season,
I'd say he's the
man.
16th best safety in the league. Sounds great.
Hey.
Lions really didn't make too much of a splash. They re-signed Barnes, Davenport, just guys who stay hurt.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what happens in the draft. I don't even think they signed an offensive player either.
Maybe they trust what they have already. Let's
Yeah.
just run it back. Maybe
They're not even like salary cap trouble either. Like some of these other
Not at
teams,
all.
like the Saints, the Bills, Chiefs, I believe have salary cap issues.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
weird.
What do you
Green Bay.
think about what the Bears have done?
I'm getting nervous. I believe that the NFL is a continuous prove it. What have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And it could be very well. I don't think it'll be like the Niners where they go back-to-back Super Bowls and then this year they're just hurt, tired, whatever. Whatever Purdy said the other day, he was kind of right on it.
Right.
So I think these teams are getting better, but I still think Lions are the cream of the crop, and they're going to try and run it back one more time, even though it's never gone. Things usually get worse.
Right.
So you look at teams who's improving. Like, I'm terrified of Minnesota. The Bears have made improvements. That offensive line got bolstered up over the offseason.
Yes, that's a major thing that needed to be.
Defensive line, they got another guy. What's his name? Off Philadelphia signed there. Sweat, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good pickup, man.
Yeah, they're making the right moves.
And they got a new coach.
Ben Johnson.
Mr. Johnson.
But we'll see. We'll see if he's the mastermind we think he is, or if it was Dan Campbell all along.
Well,
because the whole Lions coaching staff gone.
The difference between a head coach and a offensive coordinator is just miles apart. So, he's going to have to relinquish some of what he does, what he was doing as an offensive coordinator, and just kind of like organize his coaching staff and just kind of be the CEO. And, that's different.
Yeah, you're more of a cheerleader on Sunday than you are the actual guy calling the plays. You have obviously the last say of what happens on that field, but you know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're the guy calling the X's and O's up in the booth.
Right.
And then relaying them to your coordinator, and the coordinator being like, that's all right, get this personnel out, let's go.
It's going to be different for him. It's going to be adjustment period.
Yeah, so
but,
I'm
looking forward to the draft. Though.
Yeah, I think the Eagles get worse. Washington's in a window officially.
Yes.
We're going to see what happens with the draft. That'll come soon. I don't know really any of the guys. I know Shador Sanders, Cam Ward. Like, it's going to be like top 3 guys, QBs, everyone else.
So I heard that Shador was talking to Cleveland today.
Someone is going to Cleveland. They said Deshaun Watson was a mistake.
They
Possibly.
Did say it. You don't say, huh?
Yeah. You don't say giving a guy $240 million and fresh off of 26 SA allegation / case civil suits, not cases, civil suits.
Yeah.
Wasn't going to favor well, and then he was also a pumpkin and not a top 10 QB like you wanted. Because anything else than a top 10 QB was failure.
Yeah.
He was the worst fucking QB in the league.
He was.
And playing injured, and then gets injured again. The fans fucking hate him. Joe Flacco goes in, off the couch, gets him to the playoffs. Like, what the fuck is the poor Browns?
The Browns, man.
The poor Browns.
Damn. Yeah, they've been hurting, man.
And then they were just, Then they paid Myles Garrett. They were like, because he was like, I want to trade. And they were like, how much do you like money?
They threw him the bag, man.
And he said,
he caught it too.
Yeah, he said, I'm good with 5-11 the rest of my career. 5-12.
I know, right?
You gave me that much. You gave me what?
And let me ask you a personal question. We're almost done here, but as an athlete, if you were a professional athlete, what would be your biggest thing, man? Would it be the bag? Would it be the the ring? What would you be playing for? What would be your?
He's already rich as fuck.
Yeah,
it's gotta be the ring.
Touche.
It's gotta be the ring now.
Yeah. Well, I guess he wants to get richer.
Yeah. I mean, he's gonna be fine. He's a lot richer than us.
Yeah.
Once they don't fumble that bag. Who else we got on the docket here? I'm trying to think of teams that made moves. Devontae
Adams with the Rams, man.
Yeah.
That means that Stafford will be around for at least another two more years.
That's what they're saying. I mean,
I'm kind of nervous about them.
The AFC West, yeah, that defense they drafted last year. It's like they did what the Lions did with the fuck them picks, but got the picks, and then they're doing great with them.
I mean, they have a legitimate shot.
Yeah,
I really do believe so.
I'd like them at like 30-1 right now. Yeah, Super Bowl odds.
And I'm not sure what San Fran is talking about. Like,
they can't run it back. They're in a rebuild.
They're in a rebuild, right?
Yeah. Arizona signed a bunch of players for defensive, on their defense. I think they're going to be an up-and-comer team next year.
What about their offensive line, though? Did they do anything?
No, but
they may do something in the draft, though. I'm pretty sure
they will do something in the draft, and they do have the luxury of having the most, slippery quarterback I've ever seen. That guy's
but it only takes one hit, though.
Yeah, it only takes one to kill that guy, but.
But I love the way he plays.
Yeah,
he is very slippery.
The way he's slippery and the way he's a rat. Yeah, I love to hate him, but he's not a bad player at all. I think and like Marvin Harrison Jr. and some of these talents, who's their tight end, he's pretty sick too.
Yeah, they got a team. I mean, they definitely if they can get their offensive line together. And their defense.
And their defensive line, yeah.
They're going to be fine.
They're going to be.
They could at least be a playoff team.
That's what I'm aiming for with them. I think they're a playoff team. I think the Eagles fall back to earth a little bit. Still probably win their division. And they have pretty good strangleholds.
Yeah.
But again, they're going to have their issues too. Like.
Well, Washington is going to be right on their ass though.
Yeah, and then like. The Chiefs, like we will touch on them real quick because Super Bowl losers generally don't make it back, nor do they make the playoffs.
So they're in a downward spiral, you think? Then,
I don't think they're in a downward spiral. I still think they're clear division front runners, clear lead, But I don't think they're gonna get the calls like you would, being that team that's going for the 3-peat, going for an undefeated season, whatever it might be.
Well, I think this may be motivation for everybody on that team that they didn't 3-peat. It may be motivation for Andy Reid. Of course, it's going to be motivation for the QB, Mr. Man.
Yeah, a lot of
Mahomes is going to be pissed, But I mean, do they have the talent, to maybe get back?
Yeah.
They didn't really. They re-signed some people.
Yeah, they re-signed guys.
But everybody's getting better though.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the great teams get worse, the bad teams get better. That's the great part about the NFL.
Yes.
And like the other scary team, would be the Patriots. They had all that cap money. They've been spending like crazy. They're a little bit better now.
Stefon Diggs, man. I don't, he's not. I don't know about Stefon Diggs.
31-year-old off a catastrophic knee injury.
Right. Complains a lot too.
Yeah.
You have a second-year quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may mess Mays up. Drake. It may mess him up because you got a very aggressive-minded receiver that'll let you know how he feels all the time.
All the time.
And
it's like the Dolphins have gotten worse because all their signings, like Tyreek and Tua, like they're not going to be that great. Jets are the Jets. Like, it's going to be very fun to analyze this over the year, and especially after the draft, how these new players can impact their teams.
Right. We'll see, man.
So, I guess that's all from the Fumbling the Bag Boys today.
Hey, you got your golf show coming up, right?
Yeah, that's coming up next week, yeah.
Okay.
Or this week, weekend, I don't know. I'm doing it soon. I got picks. I got hella picks. Got information. It's ready. Just got to do the thing.
Good stuff, man. Well, we got the draft coming up. We got the NBA playoffs.
Yep.
So we'll be throwing you guys some shows, man.
Hell yeah, we'll be around. So
yes.
Check it, like, subscribe. Thanks if you watched this long. We'll catch you next time.
All right.